Hello everybody, thank you for joining me again today. I'm Lee from thecraftyspark.co.uk and today I am going to show you how to make this box, which is a bit tricky to get in the camera for you to see it properly, but it's the one that I did recently for the Crafty Cupcakes blog hop. Now the Crafty Cupcakes are my team. They're all the ladies that have joined me and are part of my team, and we've just done a blog hop based on spring and summer. So I made this box along with a card, and I had quite a few requests on how to actually make the box, so I thought I'd show you. Now I'm going to do it very slightly differently today, only because I'm not going to be using this paper. I'm going to be using another one from the birthday bouquet set, which is where this one's from. So let me show you what to do. Now, first things first, you will need your Simply scoreboard, and you will need your scuttle, and then you will need a piece of craft cardstock. Whoops, dented the end there. Piece of craft cardstock that measures 12 inches by 8 3/4 inches. All right, and now the first thing you want to be doing with the long edge across the top is score at 2 7/8, 5 3/4, 8 5/8, and 11.5. Now all these score lines are actually going to be on my blog, which you will find if you look underneath the video. You'll see the link to my blog, and you will also see the link to this actual post, so you can have all these score lines. All right, but we did 2 7/8, 5 3/4, 8 5/8, and 11.5. Turn it round so you now have your 8 3/4 across the top, and you want to score again at half. Whoop. Right, the way down to the bottom. Sorry, I know that went out of the camera, but you really don't need to see that bit, do you? So half, and then again at 6.5. That's it. Oh dear, that's a good start to the day, isn't it? Right, so that's your scoring done for your box. Move your scoreboard out of the way. Very sorry about that, everybody. Now you need to grab some scissors, and before you start folding and bending and everything else, you need to just do a little bit of cutting. So this score line here, so this narrow one, can you see that one? This narrow, there it is, look. This narrow one, just at the end here, you're going to just notch up just to that corner, like that. Turn it, and then notch it onto the other corner. Take that bit out. All right, so you're left with a shape like that. At the bottom, you want to, where that first score line is there, do a notch on there, like that. Turn it, and then actually cut that whole piece out. All right, so now we're looking like that. Okay, good. Right, now we are going to do some burnishing. So all those score lines that you've just made, just fold them over and burnish them all the way along. There we go, and the last one. So, and now the little diddy one at the top, fold that one over as well, like that. Burnish that one down. Be quite firm on that narrow one. because that's actually the top of our box. All right, so score it quite firmly, and then flatten it back out, fold in your first tab, if you like, and just snip off that corner, just down to that first score line. And then at the bottom, do exactly the same, whoops, but start at the bottom rather than at the score line. Can you see that? Am I in the camera now? Yeah. Start at the bottom rather than at the score line, and just do a very narrow notch right up to the top. All right, snip it out. Fold it again. So now we've folded it in half, and what you're doing is you're actually creating notches at the top and the bottom, but you're doing 2 at a time, so it actually happens much quicker, and then just makes it a bit easier as well, really, I think. And then the last one. Now with the last one, we're actually going to leave this square and just notch this one here. Okay, so we're going to cut up and then notch it out. Alright, so if I move those out of the way, that is what you're left with. So you've got a square tab here, the rest of them all have the notches in. Whoops, I haven't notched that end one, look. Notch your end ones. Oh, it's a bit wibbly wobbly, isn't it? That's it. That's better. Sorry about that. Right, so we've notched on the ends. We've notched on the ends here, but we've left this one square. All right. Now, because we're using cardstock and we're making a box, we use glue. I always use glue when I'm doing my boxes like this. In fact, to tell you what, let's make it easy today. We'll put the panels on first. Usually I do the box and then I stick the panels on, but for today we'll put the panels on first because it will make it easier. Now what I'm using for the panels is the ice creams because I think they look really cute. So we're going to do the ice creams today. So I've already done 3, but what you need is a piece of designer series paper which measures 5 5/8 by 2.5, and a piece of blushing bride that measures 2 3/4 by 5 7/8. All right. Now let me just stick this last one on with my snail. I really think they should have chosen a better name for this stuff, you know, rather than snail. I can understand why it's called snail, because when you look at the inside, it's got like a circle bit inside it, but even so, snail, I mean, honestly. Right, let's just get that off of there, because I just wiped it all over my desk mat. Where's my rubber? Oh, there it is. I put myself a nice new adhesive remover the other day because mine was just getting in such a mess and so small. Because with these adhesive remover rubbers, as you use them, you can see it starts to get a bit mucky. So all you do is you just snip that piece off. But of course you can only snip it off so many times before you haven't actually got none left. So I was getting to that point, as I've had mine for quite a while, because they last forever and ever and ever. So I thought, it's about time I treated myself to a new one. So I did. Right, let's get these stuck on then. Just put some of the Tombow glue right the way around the edge. And then line it up on your card, and you'll see that when you line it up, it does cover nearly all of your craft cardstock. You can only see a very narrow edge coming out from the side, but that's all part of it. That's just part of the way it's designed. Goodness, got glue over my hands already. And you just started. Right, pop that one on. Whoop. And another one. Can't pick them up. Put that one on. I did think of putting these on first before I started filming, but I couldn't score it properly. So they were getting in the way. So I thought, oh well, I'm sure you don't mind watching me stick them on, because if you're making along with me, you're going to be sticking yours at the same time anyway, aren't you? So what does it matter? Oh, the glue's bunged up. Come on, let's try another one. I don't know if it's bunged up or run out. Let's try that one. Oh, that one's not so good either, is it? Dear. Right, so we've popped that one on as well. So we've now got all of our panels in place, and now we'll start actually sticking our box together. Alright, so flip it over, get some glue that hopefully works. Maybe there's a bit on the end there. Let's try that. Now you want to put a line of glue down the edge there. Come on, glue. Oh goodness, I think I might have to try another one. Actually, let's leave that one upside down for a minute, see if that one works. Right, so we've got a line of glue on our tab. Fold it over so you're flat, and then fold over again, and you'll find you'll get a nice match in the middle. Stick it down firmly with your fingers. Alright, we've got that going on. Now, let's just fold those under for a minute, get them out of the way. On the top, you know, we've got one of these which is square. See this one? It's square. Leave that one till last, okay? So you fold in two. Oops. Let's see if this glue is going to work for me. So we're going to put a bit of glue. Oh, having gluing issues today. Look, that one doesn't want to work much either. Oh, what is going on with my glue? I bet the children have been in here again. Oh, they are naughty. They keep doing this. They keep coming in and using my stuff. But of course, they're kiddies, so they don't tidy up very well, and they leave lids off and things. So when Mummy comes to use it, Mummy has trouble. That's going to squirt out of me in a minute, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Thought it might. Right, I'll clear that up in a minute. Right, let's try that again. There we are. That's better. So we've got some glue on the bottom one. I'll put some glue on that one. And we'll fold that one over. And before all of it sticks down, I'm just going to put some more on there. And this one I'm going to use to square my box, because I haven't cut the sides. So I know that if my edges are straight, I've got a square box. Now you can see that this base is actually slightly shorter than the box itself. Personally, I don't mind that. If you do mind that, all you need to do is, instead of having your cardstock at 8 3/4, put your cardstock to 9 1/4. And if it's 9 1/4, it's actually going to reach right up to that edge. You can still do exactly the same score lines and everything else, but just go to 9 1/4 and it'll go right up to the edge. Alright, now if we turn it up that way, you can actually put your hand in and stick it all down nice and firm inside. And then all we need to do now is these little tabs. Now the reason we've done it like this is because it just gives a much nicer finish on your box. Alright, so put some glue around the edges there. And then all you need to do is just fold them in. Just hold them for a few seconds so that they stick in properly. And then fold the other two in. Again, just hold them for a few seconds so that they stick. And then what I usually do with my bone folder is I just give it a good hard rub on the inside there, just to make sure it's all nice and firmly stuck. Because by using your bone folder, not only are you pushing down nice and hard and firm, but you're doing it in a very level manner, and you're spreading your glue out at the same time, so you're actually helping it all stick down properly inside there. Let's just do that last one. There we go. Right, so there's our box done. Put the lid on the glue, otherwise this is going to dry up again. Oh, I need to clear that up, don't I? Hang on. Let's try and clear that away. Nice bears. What should I need to stick something on it, don't I? Where's all my post-it notes gone? Let me find a post-it note to stick on it. That'll do. Bit of a messy post-it note as well, but never mind. Right, there you go. At least I won't stick my hands in it now and get everything else mucky, will I? Right, so as I was saying, here's our box. Okay, all nice and pretty. Now we're going to do the lid. So for the lid, you need to bring your Simply Scribble back in, and you need another piece of craft cardstock that measures 6 inches by 6 inches. All right. And we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 4.5, and then at 5.5. Okay, turn it around by 90 degrees and do the same again. So 1/2, 1.5, 4.5, 5.5. Okay, get your scoreboard out the way. Now this lid has been measured to make sure it will fit over the top of this box. All right, because what I did, when I had my piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, which is what the craft card comes in, I needed to work out how we could get 4 sides plus a bit extra and still be able to fit the lid on. So what we've done is we've actually made a box that is 2 7/8 square, so 2 7/8 all the way around, but our box lid actually has a center panel that measures 3 inches, so we've given ourselves a little bit of wiggle room so the lid will go on properly. Isn't that clever? Right, now the next thing we need to do, if you have a look on here, see I've made these lovely little bow slits, ribbon slits. So the ribbon goes right the way around the box, ties in a nice big chunky bow on the top, and at the side you've got this lovely gathered effect. All right, so the way we're going to do that, now we've done all our scoring, you need to fold that 1/2 inch score over on 2 sides that are opposite each other. Okay, like that. Then grab yourself a ruler and a pencil. Now I'm actually going to mark this quite firmly so you can see it. Obviously when you do your own one you probably won't want to mark it as firmly, otherwise it's going to show up, but I'm going to do mine quite firmly. And what you need to do on that second score line, so not the first one but the second one, put your ruler in the middle of it so you've got your 3 inch square and mark it at 1.5, and then do the same on the other side, mark it at 1.5. Okay, and then I would suggest, obviously you don't have to do it like this, but this is the easy way, you draw a line right the way across. Okay, so you can see my line, I think. Yes you can, good. Next thing we want is our triple corner punch. And what you want to do is fold over one of your edges, and then you see this one here, this is the one that we're going to use, oops, sorry, this one here, this is the one we're going to use to actually make the punch. And if you look on the end, you've got a line, so that line that we've just drawn there, we can pop that in and then we can line it up, and by doing it like that you can line it up and you can actually get your punch hole centre in the middle. All right, so you want to do that on both sides. Line it up, get your punch hole in there. Whoops, hang on, can't see what I'm doing. Let me just put that where I need it to be. There we go. Line it up, punch it down. All right, now your line is on the inside, so nobody can see it. But what I would suggest is before you do the next stage, rub that line out, because it's not easy to rub out a line inside a box lid. So if you do it before you actually stick your box lid together, it makes life much easier. All right, there we go. Right, so now we've done that bit, we can finish off burnishing and folding all our other score lines now. So just go around, burnish all your other ones. And then we just need to cut out and notch all of our corners. Okay, now we're going to actually go around in a circle to do this, only because where it's a small lid, it just makes it more sturdy and more secure on the lid. It gives the lid a bit more strength. So what you need to be doing with your scissors is just start anywhere, but go on your first score line, go straight up, past the first one to the second one. And again. And then cut that at a notch. So you've cut that little tab at a notch. All right. Then you do the same thing. So just cut straight down again, turn, cut your notch. All right, leave it that way round, cut down, cut down, cut the notch, and then the last one, cut down, down again, and cut your notch. All right, move those out of the way, and then you will see that you've actually got your tabs sort of going in a circle rather than just going all that way or all that way, which is exactly what you want it to do. Okay, so now you've done that, snip off those end bits and just put some notches on those tabs that you've just cut out. Whoops. And on the little ends that you missed last time. You'll see what I mean in a minute. If that sounded a bit confusing and you thought, what is she on about? Well, when I've done this, I'll lay it down and you'll be able to see the shape I've created. All right, and then if you're uncertain still, what you can always do, obviously, is pause the video and you'll be able to see the shape. All right, so the last one, just going to cut that notch off. And that one, and that one, and that one. There we go. Right, so if I move all those bits out of the way, that, turn it up that way you can see it better, that is what I'm left with. Okay, so you've got each long edge has a tab and a tab, but then the next one goes that way with a long edge and a tab and a tab, and now we're going to come towards us with a tab and the tab, and then to the right of us. All right, so you've gone round in a circle. Okay, right, now we're going to stick it together. So fold your tabs inwards, grab your glue, and then we're just going to pop some glue on each one, fold it over, just hold it in place for a second before you move to your next one to make sure that one's nicely stuck. Pop some glue on there. Stick it on, hold it down just to make sure it's there and it's not moving around or anything. Whoops. And when you do this last one, just make sure you've got your other tab inwards still. Otherwise you'll find that you won't be able to stick it down properly because it'll end up flapped out the wrong way. Put that one on. Whoops. Stick that one. And then your last one, just fold the tab inwards and you'll be able to get your glue, get your glue in there to pop some glue on. Just hold it in place for a second. Right, now as before, I'm just going to get my bone folder and just make sure all that glue is nicely spread out, especially right up to the edges, because I want to make sure I've gone right into those corners where I need to be. So right round it. There we go. And then, as before, just bend those outwards a bit so I can get the glue on. It's going to put some glue along there as well. And what you've done now is you've given yourself a really lovely finish to your box, because rather than having just rough card edges, you've got these lovely sort of rolled edges where you've folded the card over, and it just makes it look so much more professional. Gives a really, really good finish. Right, now I've got glue everywhere, all over my hands. I'm trying to wipe it off as I'm holding it down and it's not working. Oh dear, never mind, let's give that a good stick. That one as well. Oh my life. And that one. See, this is where a bone folder comes in so handy, because you can just stick it in there and it fits nice and easy. Whoops, that bit's not stuck down very well, is it? I think I left that a bit too long before I put the glue down. There we go. That's it. All right, so now we have got our lovely box lid. All right, with a nice finished edge on it. And that now fits perfectly on the box. All right. So it goes on there really, really well. Right, next thing we need is our ribbon. Now, unfortunately, I have run out of ribbon. So what I'm going to do, I'll just put the lid back on that one, is I'm going to use this ribbon and I'm going to show you a little tip. Now, screwed up ribbon, not good. So in come my straighteners. Now, if you're going to iron ribbon with straighteners, be very careful, okay? Because some ribbon you cannot iron with straighteners. If it's got a really, really high nylon content, for example, and you've got really, really high straighteners, in fact, that was too high, put it on a lower one. If you've got a really high temperature on your straighteners, you may very well melt your ribbon, okay? So what I do is I put mine on my lowest setting and then just very slowly just pull it through. Look at that perfectly ironed ribbon. So if anybody ever sends you ribbon, like me, because sometimes I send my customers ribbon, and it's got screwed up or it's got dents in it from, like, if it's been wrapped round card or something like that, don't panic. Just grab a pair of straighteners and iron it. There we go. How fast and easy was that? Let me just move them out of the way before I burn my hands, because I'm good at doing that. And there I have perfect ribbon once again. Ta-da! Right, now to put your ribbon in your box, what you need to be doing is grab, oops, let's go the right side, let's go nice shiny side. Gather up your ribbon, pop it in the hole from the inside out. Whoops. Alright, so that way round. And then as you pull it through, it will start to gather itself up. Alright, get the other end do the same thing. So just gather it up, poke it through, let it squish itself, that's fine. And then get your box, like so, put your ribbon on, and all you need to do is, whoops, hang on, run out of hands, pop that down there, grab a hold of both ends of your ribbon. I hope you can see this because the camera's quite low today, isn't it? I've just realised. But just pull it, and as you're pulling it through, it's pulling up the box. Alright, so that is what you are ending up with. Once you've done that, all you need to do then is just get your gathers. Now, just have a little fiddle with it, make it gathered nicely. See, that side's fine. That side's not, it's going to be twisted, but it's alright. Just pull it out a bit. Gather it up, give it a little wiggle. That always works, doesn't it? Give a little wiggle. Give a little wiggle. Oh no, it wasn't wiggle, was it? It was whistle. Give a little whistle. Oh dear. Right, there we go. So now we've got our nice gathers. As it gets going through that hole, and you see, it looks really nice, doesn't it? And then all you need to do is tie a bow on the top. All you need to do, tying a bow. Bows are so hard, aren't they, sometimes? But fortunately, this ribbon is so easy to work with. It actually makes life quite simple for a change. Especially for people like me who aren't very good at ribbon bows and also quite fussy about ribbon bows. But look, how's that? It's not bad at all, really, is it? For a first go. Obviously I have to have a fiddle with it because that's what I do. But there we are. Alright, so there is our ice cream box with our cutie tootie little bow on the top. And I thought, just to finish it off on this one, I'm going to do a little tag for it. So I've got some Whisper White cardstock. I've got some soft suede ink. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Now this stamp is actually one of the Celebration stamps. And it's from... What's it from? Where did I put the stamp set? It's from the Honeycomb Happiness. Oh, there it is, look. It's from this one, Honeycomb Happiness. Now, if you spend £45 or more, you get this free. And it's a gorgeous set to have for Easter, because, I mean, look at that chick. Oh, isn't he just the cutest? I love him. Right, so I've stamped it in crumb cake with the ice cream. No, I haven't. I've stamped it in soft suede, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour the bottom of that ice cream. Alright, just like that. And then I have one of the Honeycomb Embellishments. Now these actually go with... Oh no, I don't want to stick that on yet, do I? I want to punch it out. Whoops. With my note tag punch. Whoopsie daisy. What was the same? Yeah, they actually, those, can I get that at an angle? I really want that to go at an angle. Hang on. Gone over a bit too far. That's it. I wanted it like that so that if I decide to put a hole in it, it's not going to be in the way. What was I saying? Yes, these Honeycomb Embellishments, these actually are part of the Birthday Bouquet and Birthday Blooms suite, which is the paper that we're working with today. It's very easy to do. You just stick one side on and then you open it out. Whoops. Very easy, she says. Open it out like that, and I'm going to use my scissors just to stick down that side. I'm just going to poke that in the little holes on the other side, and you've actually got a little ice cream. Isn't that smashing? Look. And I thought that would make a really cute little tag to put on there, don't you think? could even put, actually, could go on there. That could be good. There, so there we have it. There is our box for today with a matching honeycomb tag. Whoops, which I didn't stick on, so obviously it just fell off. But everything that I've used today, whoops, it's gone again. Everything I've used today is going to be on my blog, on the blog post, which goes with this. All the measurements will be on there for your cutting and scoring. And then you will be able to make one of these beautiful boxes as well, with a lovely ribbon and even an ice cream tag if you really wanted it. How cute's that? Right. Thank you once again for joining me. I will be back again very, very soon. Oh, and just before I go, I just want to say I apologise that there was no super speedy cards this Sunday. The reason for that being was we had our blog hop, the Crafty Cupcakes blog hop was on Saturday, and I was so busy with the blog hop, I'll be very honest, I completely forgot because I was looking after my lovely team and making sure everybody was ready to go and done all their projects and everything. So I do apologise, but we are back on track this coming Sunday. So I will see you again with that anyway. But in the meantime, there will be another video later this week. Maybe a card, maybe a box. I'm not quite sure yet, but there will be one, I promise. And until then, I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.